The moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. I found a drink I really like down here in Texas. I think it's now gotten to be popular though around the country. But there's different variations. So that the drink is ranch water. But if you go into like the grocery store in most states and you buy ranch water, you're getting some kind of weird Zima cocktail like concoction. You're not getting kind of the true experience. The true experience is you're getting tequila. And I personally like the smoked tequila or just full on mezcal, and then lime juice, and then Topo Chico, which is basically seltzer water. And it's a very simple drink to make, very easy. You put a slice of lime in there. You can put some tahini or some salt around the rim, but I usually get tired of the salt, so just as it is, virgin. And it's a great drink. So as we're heading into summer, think about that one. It's really good. If you haven't heard of it, try it. And then if you've tried it, but you've gone you've gone to a ranch water in a can, that is not ranch water. It's some other weird ass thing. It's like saying Bud Light is beer. It's not beer. It's a bunch of shitty Bud Light, and that has nothing to do with the controversy. It's just water beer. It's awful. Anyway, throwing that out there. Okay, so many of you have jobs, and everybody likes a promotion. Basically, if you do a good job, you get promoted. And in comics, the promotions, in my view, have gone astray. And what I mean by that is not any of the, is Jim Lee going to get promoted? Is Marie Javins going to get promoted? Is CB Spolsky going to get promoted? Not that kind of promotion. I'm talking about creators, artists and writers. Now, for artists, it tends to make a little bit more sense for a while. If an artist starts to get more popular, they put that artist on a more mainstream book. The artist tends to go from the lesser popular characters to the more popular characters. And this is how it's always been. Jim Lee started with he didn't start, but one of his earliest things that he did, a Mockingbird backup story in Solo Avengers #1. And, and then eventually he's the X-Men artist. And so you see that progression in his career. It's all very good. Today, by the way, the artist, it works that way for a while, and then it seems to get jacked up where it's like, well, we can't have this artist on an ongoing book anymore. That would be crazy. Let's put that artist on covers and random kind of issues from time to time. Ed McGuinness I like his art. I think he's a solid artist. Always kind of enjoyed his art. Was listening to Ed McGuinness, I don't know, a couple months ago. And guess what he would like? Just an ongoing book. And I think, now I don't know if this was Ed McGuinness, but somebody else, but basically artists, it's tough to do 12 issues a year. Again, not impossible, but it could be tough to maintain a high level of quality. And this idea got proposed to say, hey, if an artist, why don't we have 10 issues a year, not 12? Now you may go, oh shit, I don't like that. But hear me out. What if you had a constant creative team, meaning same writer, same artist, right? This is the ongoing series. And basically twice a year, you go, whatever it would be, like 3 months. No, it'd be 4 months, take a break, 4 months, take a break, 4 months, take a break, okay? And in exchange for that, by take a break, I mean a 1 month break. Basically, you go, like January, February, March, April, you skip May, you go to June. And then you have 4 contiguous months, and then you skip a month, you do 4 contiguous months. And if somebody came up to you and said, as a comic customer, hey, you're going to get 10 issues a year, but not 12, but it's going to be the same writer, the same artist, so it's going to be a good quality artist, like a really top tier artist who's doing this, but we need to give them like a little pause twice a year. I'm making a wild guess here. I think most of you would take that. Now, many of you may go, well, I want 12 issues. I want 16 issues. Fuck those guys. Everybody should be like Mark Bagley. Okay, fine. But that sounds wonderful. But by and large, if somebody said, hey, Ed McGuinness on a book, and he is the only artist for this title, we're going to go ahead and sign a 3-year contract with a writer and Ed McGuinness. And this is going to be the creative team. And then, we're going to skip, every 4 months, we're going to take a month break. I'd be like, okay, sold. To have that kind of consistent run of a comic, I'd make that trade any day of the week. And by the way, if you're the comic publisher, to kind of fill that month, you could do, a twice annual, like a sub annual or something. You could do something there. It's not unlike what Sean Gordon Murphy did with White Knight when he's taking a break and then he has like a little 2-issue series that happens in the middle of the series. Same kind of thing. It's a good idea. Just put in a little pause, keep the creative team the same. That's what I would want. But by and large, that's how the artists work. The writers, on the other hand, the idea of promotions is kind of weird. So here's a viewer mail. We're way into the video to get to a viewer mail, but I've been talking about. I agree with the writer of this mail, so it makes this video a little easier. It says, "Hey Perch, and by the way, there's some things in the mail I'm not going to read here, but just very thoughtful things. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your class act." But getting to the non-personal stuff here, we get to my question is: in the comics, should there be such a thing as a promotion for creators in the sense of attributing a hierarchy to series? By that, what I mean is if you look at Jeremy Adams on Flash, it feels like Green Lantern is his quote-unquote promotion for doing such a good job on Flash. But when you get someone who's been such an obvious good match for a series, isn't the best run to give them job security on that run in the shape of a longer contract? I think one thing Marvel does right is there's no clear flagship title. I'm not sure that was intentional, but I catch your point. And I do think Spider-Man is their flagship title at the moment. But anyway, a writer can make his or her name just as easily on Thor as they can on Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk, or the X-Men. I don't 100% agree, but I mostly agree. Mostly agree with that. But at DC, and to your point, I think DC is much different in this regard. I think there's a much clearer hierarchy of the character you're writing. Which strategy do you think works best? For me, it just feels like DC's goal is a clear progression up to Batman. And I wouldn't be surprised if Adams gets 24 issues on Green Lantern. I'd be shocked if he got 24 issues on Green Lantern, because who gets that anymore? And then he writes Detective Comics, even though I don't think his writing style is optimal for Batman. He seems like a destined JSA writer to me. That's how the letter ends. I agree. Jeremy Adams is absolutely, he'll be on Detective Comics, I would guess, in a year. That's my guess. But I also agree, I don't think his writing fits Detective Comics. So here's the part that is weird. I agree completely with something that you said in the mail, which is the proper promotion or the proper reward should be, hey, you're doing a good job on this. Here's a guaranteed year contract, 2-year contract, 3-year contract. That's the promotion. Nothing to do with titles. Nothing to do with, hey, we're going to take you from Aquaman to Wonder Woman to Green Lantern to Flash to I don't know, work your way up the ladder. That wouldn't be the right ladder. But anyway, we're going to work you up working your way up the ladder with these comic characters, not the supposed hierarchy of fictional characters, is absurd. I get that Batman sells the most, but you've also got, something like 20 Batman titles running around fighting for space. I would argue DC's done a hell of a lot to demolish the credibility of Detective Comics, and I think it's been kind of trending in that direction since Brian Edward Hill was on it a long time ago. I think when they put him on it, DC did a lot of, shenanigans. I don't think Hill would agree with what I'm saying here, but I think DC basically firmly implanted in people's heads that it was a subtitle. And then I think, and part of that, actually, I go back further, is when they made the comment that Scott Snyder had graduated from Detective Comics to Batman. And I think that's a dumb thing to say. I think you never want to basically create a hierarchy with your comics that you state. Let your fans and your readers do that. If the fans and the readers are liking the series, they're the ones who get to decide the hierarchy, not you. You should just be, I think the comic publishers should take a stance of all of our titles are equal, and we're putting the best writer on the title that fits that writer. That's what I think you should do. I agree. Jeremy Adams was great on Flash. I'm not as upset by the changes I think most of you were when I broke the news. Everybody's like, that's one of your worst takes. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and say solidarity with Richard, who made a comment that, people in the comments who write bad take, those people are assholes. I'm saying, you may not think you're being an asshole. You are 100% being an asshole. Anyway, I totally agree with that. That is an obnoxious ass comment. And you never think it is until somebody does it to you. And you're like, oh, I sound like an asshole. There's that self-realization that kicks in. Anyway, um, I think the absolute best promotion is not moving somebody to a different title. It's giving somebody a longer contract. And here's the thing, that would be way better for the publisher. This is the part that is somewhat baffling in comics. How can a lot of publishers make more money? Well, this is probably destined for a longer video, but I'll give you a one quick little statement, and then you might say, this might blow your mind, but it's absolutely true. The publishers largely resent the back issue market. They view that as money that they should be having that's going to the comic shop. Now, never mind the fact the comic shop is taking all the risk on the title and kind of back issue stock and everything else. The publishers, and I've heard this from many, not writers or artists, not the freelancers, but the full-time employees, meaning the editors, the other people, they view in a weird way that the comic shop is semi-stealing from them when they get money from the back issue market. If a comic goes up in value and obviously the comic shop is pocketing that change, they feel like that's unfair to the publisher. The publisher should get a cut of that. Now it's worth saying, I know Joe Quesada does not feel that way. I know several kind of at the very top people don't feel that way, but the mid-level management absolutely does. And maybe they don't say it out loud, but if you're somebody in a position of power at the publisher, dig and ask. Like, take your people out for drinks one night, give them 3 or 4 beers in, and then just ask and watch the reaction. You'll see editors, full-time members of your staff go like, "Oh, fuck those comic shops. They're stealing from us." It's bizarre. Anyway, again, video on that on your time. But this is the one way the publisher can get back into that value chain is through trade paperbacks and hardcovers and omnibuses and everything else. It's money for them. And the publishers have made a really good amount of money from the omnibus market over the years. They've done, it's been a good source of income, but it's also been a source of complete stupidity on the part of the publishers in a lot of cases because they let things go out of print. They don't put the omnibuses out in a timely manner. They don't correspond with movies and other things that would naturally make them more money. So here's the very simple logic. Instead of moving Jeremy Adams to another title in a quote-unquote promotion for doing a good job with Flash, the smarter thing to do would be to lock Jeremy Adams up for 3 to 5 years on The Flash and keep churning out trades and omnibus editions featuring Jeremy Adams. So they did not get enough issues of Jeremy Adams on The Flash to actually get a proper omnibus out. You needed to have him on that title for a year more, I think at least, and then you create another product you can make a shitload of money off of. So, for everything else, I like to talk to people, with their wallet. You're leaving money on the table, you dumbasses. That's the part that kind of drives me insane about this entire thing. It's not only is it a better promotion for the creator to give them more job security, which is what a 3 to 5 year contract would do, it's also better for your own financial interest to do that. So anyway, for what it's worth. What do you think? Promotion? Not promotion? What would you do if you were in charge of a comic company? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for listening.